to do so in split push, and you can't really hold up to it. You have to look for team fights, but by the time APX were able to get those fights, still pretty far behind.
Well, we'll see what changes here. It's TSM now on the blue side, upper game versus Apex. We've got Jarvan and Jin banned away again from TSM. Vladimir and Ryze will follow for Apex, so it seems like Apex are sticking to kind of your standard mid lane, red side mage bans, excuse me. We'll see if they have another one in store. Maybe that Azir. TSM, though, a little more free to target ban. That's 2 so far.
Yep.
See if they pick one more.
Aurelia is the other ban that's been dropped so far. They pick up Jax in favor of that one. And so Apex, they banned Aurelia and Azir last time, and now one of them has to go through.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ray is also getting targeted a bit from this champ select, so could be some trouble. See what Apex's final ban is, though.
Maybe the Talia as well.
Maybe. I mean, Trundle also wouldn't go awry, but it is Talia. I mean, you said it already, right? Yep. Keen, usually the one that plays random champions against people and gets victories as a result. Maybe just unfamiliar with the matchup or just didn't want to play against it again.
Yeah, there's a way to actually play against Talia effectively, but teams just haven't figured it out completely yet. And if he first picks it, you can definitely counter it with your draft. But they're still afraid of that, which shows that Apex don't have knowledge across the board of how to play against it, and Keen may not even be able to play that champion himself just yet.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is I think it just makes Bjergsen and the rest of TSM look so good and so comfortable. They do first pick Azir as a result, though. Like, sure, like, Talia is a champion that fits Bjergsen and he seems really comfortable on, but this champion's one he has shown time and time again he can dominate on.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think of a champion that Bjergsen hasn't looked comfortable on this split. I feel like his dedication to the game, his willingness to just play solo queue all day and kind of practice to the peak of his performance is astounding. He's just always grinding. And I hear stories about how the team's like, oh, we're going to go out. And he's like, can you grab me something? And they're like, no, we have to go out as a team.
Yeah.
And it's like, like, come on. And everybody like enjoys playing the game, but he's played it for so long and he stayed at the highest level for so long that he's been consistent, and it's incredible because he has to play things that he may not want to play, but he still plays them well.
And as a result, TSM looking maybe like their best form ever this split so far. Caitlyn and Rek'Sai, though, are the champions on Apex's side of the draft, so Apollo does go back to their comfort pick. Shrimp will retake Rek'Sai as his jungler of choice. We'll see if Sven does actually want to do something like Hecarim, which we've seen a few times, mostly from P1's Anori, or if Sven's maybe going to go back to the Gragas, or has something else cooked up entirely.
Yeah, it may be the Gragas here because the combination have a disengage for the Azir. Also, the Body Slam Flash is a great gank tool early on to put Keen behind and get Bjergsen ahead. Don't think the Hecarim will come through.
I mean, I would like it. It'd be funny to see Haunter take maybe a big carry-style champion to the top lane. Remember,
that's true.
The plan is probably still the same, right? Pick on Ray. I think I echo your sentiment that Gragas is a great ganking jungler, so I like the take here, but it will be Sivir again for double if, so...
Yep. How many games in a row will he play Sivir now? Is this the champion?
The new streak.
Let's go for 13. Let's go. So far, it's 2. But TSM, I mean, if given the ability, they'll probably draft the exact same composition, with the exception of the Azir being there instead of the Talia. I think Karma would still fit it, and I think that Haunter on Trundle would still fit it because you have a poke wave clear comp. Why not have a pillar in there too with split push?
Yeah, and this actually might be some creative drafting from TSM, taking the Sivir and the Gragas now, not giving too much away, and maybe wanting Karma, but knowing that X Special is very unlikely to take it. Maybe Keen picks it up here as a result, but I think TSM know that, like, you're not going to take this champion, so we'll just take it for free later on in the draft. Which is smart stuff there. Keen, though, considering something a bit more aggressive. X Special, always the playmaker. Probably just going back to something comfy here.
I think the Bard would be the better pick here. He can still make the plays with the ultimate. If he goes for the Alistar, he's definitely a disadvantage if they pick a ranged support. So yeah, I think the Bard is the safer one. Bully in lane for a little bit. Good team fighter if you're able to pull off the Cosmic Bindings. And great at helping your team rotate, which is something that was happening. And Apex couldn't keep up with it, especially with the Talia, but it's going to be another story here against TSM.
Yep. Early LeBlanc pick for Keen, actually, so not a counter matchup per se, but one that Keen can get ahead in and maybe try and keep Bjergsen's Azir down. Last pick, Shen and Karma, though, for TSM. So we'll see what Apex have lined up for the counter pick, because they are giving it, understandably, to Ray.
They banned out the Jax as well. Olaf was something that we saw played into Shen yesterday from Quas, I believe, to try and beat up the Jax. Not sure how it would do against the Shen. What else does he have up his sleeve? The Aurelia is still there, but Shen has a really good matchup against her because she's a lot of auto attack damage. Assume it's the Trundle because he's got to shred those resists.
Did forget about Trundle. Still feels like one of the best top laners. We saw Hansa go to town with it once he got a lead with a bit of help from Bjergsen in game 1. We'll see if Ray fancies himself maybe a bit more of a bruiser or if he's just going to go straight off the deep end. I'm semi-surprised they're not just being like, here, take Fiora, take Riven, run free Ray, do what you can in the top lane, but actually take Gnar instead, so almost a complete 360 on the pick there. Yeah,
we see this a lot recently. This started in Europe where Shen was being played a little bit, and then Gnar came out as the counter, and now we see Gnar in like 75, 80% of the games in Europe. It's actually quite rare that it goes unpicked or banned, and it's yet to be a champion that has caught on here and seen success. It has seen a couple of games, but it never seems to thrive in the way that the teams hope it does in this matchup.
Yeah, and you can see the pick rate very low for little Gnar here in NA, so barely ever seen him. We'll see if Ray, though, seems to be, again, playing more for his team. I think Rumble was the right carry-esque champion without going too far in the Java and Riven spectrum of things. And I think Gnar is like, okay, we want to team fight a bit more. We feel like we can actually match them if we get to the mid-game. And especially if we get a lead in the early game. So Ray, a champion he can bully on, but it's like more of a tanky champion. It's not like a hard carry that he's just trying to win a 1v1 split push all day with.
Yeah, I think that is definitely a great point there. The thing that sticks out to me here is it looks like Apex are trying to have a more global presence. Right, they have to match the Shen, so they'll probably take TP in the mid lane because you can on LeBlanc, and Azir is probably not going to take it because he has to take some type of summoner spell for defensive, whether it's barrier or heal. So I think that Apex are going to try to double down on matching the pressure of TSM and using more globals like the Rek'Sai Tunnel too.
Well, while we load into game, take a second to snap a pic and tweet it to @LOL Esports using the hashtag #LockIn. We're collecting photos from around the world. Studio has the coolest viewing party. Show us how you're watching at home, and we'll feature some of your photos later in the broadcast. We're about to get ourselves into game number 2, TSM. Will it be another sweep, or do Apex have something up their sleeve here for this second game? Beating TSM in one game is usually pretty hard. Beating them in 2, even tougher, but the road does start here for Apex if the upset is there.
It has to. And Apex, they're looking to actually break into those playoff spots, sitting at 7th right now in a big pack. They're 5 and 6, and I believe there's 2-3 other teams that are tied with them at the moment. I know that CLG is also sitting at 5 and 6, but they play P1 after this and are most likely going to pick up a victory there. But P1 has been surging up, so Apex, if they want to stand a chance of getting really high up there and securing it.
Oh my god, Kane just goes straight in onto Bjergsen. Level 1 fight, the binding gets flashed out, and Apex are actually collapsing really nicely. TSM sticking together.
Yeah, this is Apex side of the jungle as well. TSM tried to brute force it in, and they might get punished here. They're being wrapped around.
Drug it out, boys.
Level 1,
all right,
team
we gotta
fight.
Go. Trip back onto Let's on Apollo as well. There's first blood for Bjergsen. Apollo flashes out.
Too early. He went forward too early, and Shrimp, what was going to be a really good position for his team, ended up being a first blood and multiple flashes being blown there for nothing.
Well, they get caught in the trap, and the only way to get out is to punch straight through the wall, which is effectively what TSM did there, getting themselves the first blood. This was kooky.
Look at the hesitation. They all walk in the bush, and then he's like, okay, he's not going to push them into the other team, in his other team. Like, it's a little confusing that he went forward there. I think he thought his team wasn't going to just camp in that bush and that they were going to try to pincer them, and his team did not follow up on the left side.
Well, yeah, definitely the thought was right there for Apex, but the execution not so much, as we'll actually return ourselves to standard lanes, but we'll flip them upside down. Bjergsen and Keen doing battle right now. Keen with a bit of the early edge at level 1. See if Bjergsen can hit that level 2 and push her out, and Keen again can definitely find footing in this matchup if he gets ahead in any sort of way.
Yeah, he has the flash over Bjergsen, so Bjergsen doesn't have an escape tool available to him. Shrimp should gank mid very early on, try to flash, maybe flash tunnel, tunnel flash, whatever onto Bjergsen, knock him up, and have Keen with the follow-up because he's got no escape.
Well, Shrimp unfortunately is busy trying not to die in his own jungle. Did take a few hits there. Actually died in that level 1.
Yeah,
so.
It's because he didn't get a leash, so he's going to be a little bit lower here. So had to kill his romp by himself.
Value. Biofrost puts up the shield. Double is trying to trade back in. Taunt there for Haunter going in onto Ray. Good little trade, but a nice hop from the Gnar. No follow-up autos, though. He's trading across these lanes right now. And Bjergsen, you're pretty low. Yeah. I know you've got barrier, but stands his ground a little too much. Going to miss his cannon there. Keen, I think, actually going to force him back, and that's a long walk for Bjergsen without TP.
I do like the restraint, though. He has biscuits, but instead of sticking around because the possibility of the gank and his flash being down, back, pick up a Null Magic Mantle with your gold, and then come back to lane. You will miss out on some, but it's not the end of the world.
Good discipline, certainly. There's another nice cue from Bifrost. Get some damage onto Apollo.
Yeah, Shrimp looking towards the top lane right now. He's going to do the Rek'Sai behind the turret gank, and he goes through. He has flash, but so does TSM's laners.
Spotted a little late. Double lift to target. Waiting. Flash on Burrow. Double lift pops the heal as well. Damage is there, but not enough follow-up.
Oh, Xpecial looked like he went to the side for just half a second, and that's all it takes. So he gets the flash. Has to blow his own, so a successful gank at the end of the day because he got heal on top of it, so Summoner Spell advantage.
Yeah, it looked like it would have converted, but no dice there for Apex. They'll have to wait for their first kill. Good taunt, but it doesn't quite get under the turret. Ray buffers his jump out, and Haunter still taking damage. Ray going to move back in. Hyper's going to proc. Auto's there. Good flash from Haunter.
He pulled him really far forward. Ray went aggressive, and here comes Svenskeren, who has Body Slam flash available to him.
It was all a ruse. Ray
wants to transform. Ray wants to transform. He wants to get it.
Trying to get Mega. Needs a little more. Oh, flash! Oh. Out! Might be okay, but Sven is going to chase him down. Taunt's going to miss, but Ray, I think, is going down here. Almost Mega. Sven able to take him out, and that TP's late.
Oh, it's really late on that teleport. It looked like Keen had to complete his back first instead of teleporting directly there. So yeah, he had to complete his back, and then he started to channel it instead of doing it directly from lane.
Unfortunate stuff there, but Haunter, nice little bait. Sven actually going to catch Shrimp here. Flash body slam gets him straight on the end of it, and Sven's still going, but Keen's like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Sven's like, maybe I back away then. I'll just take you all.
Keen was like, I got to get those minions. Svenskeren, though, having to use his flash and getting the camp away from Shrimp. Shrimp, though, had no flash, trying to take advantage of it. Almost got the kill, but nope, not as lucky.
Hyper aggressive from Svenskeren, but I love it. He's still in the enemy jungle. It's been his MO. Pretty much whenever I've seen him play well, as I watch this great little exchange again.
Yeah, Ray's doing a great job of leaping away at the right moments. Leaps away, gets some increased attack speed from the hop. Good jump away from Haunter. Recognizes that it is a fervor of battle Gnar, so his damage, his hits are going to do a little bit more than the subsequent ones. You can't take another one afterwards. Really great flash there. But Ray, I think he was expecting the body slam first. I think he was expecting to flash the body slam,
which would have been a sick outplay.
Yeah, just flashes the Q barrel, so it wasn't ideal, and I don't think he even got the second bounce off of his hop.
Ooh, Shrimp's here. Good trade from Keen, actually. Ooh, he's given it up already, though. In fact, double lift. And Biofrost also casually walking through the lane, so probably not so much on that gank. Keen actually doing pretty well in this lane so far, though.
Yeah, after getting that flash early from Bjergsen, it definitely worked out in his favor. But now with the flash back up, Keen doesn't have the same type of kill pressure, and Bjergsen choosing to back early instead of staying in the lane and waiting for possibly a dive or a gank from Shrimp was the right choice. And you can see he's pretty much even in CS.
Yeah, pretty difficult as well without Ignite, especially with barrier for Apex to convert to a kill. Sven, though, going to find Shrimp, or maybe the other way around.
Yeah,
Keen here as well. Good body slam. Bjergsen going to follow back in, and Keen does land the chain in. There's the double chain. He's hit 6. Shrimp is going to get the kill, and Bjergsen just can't answer.
Yeah, Shrimp, level 4, goes into the jungle, and Keen has priority on that lane because he has a little bit of an advantage over Bjergsen in terms of pressure on this LeBlanc, especially early on. So, clears the wave up, threatens to kill Bjergsen, who's level 5 with his level 6. And gets priority.
Yep, little experience advantage was enough. Great play there from Apex to collapse in TSM's jungle and give Sven a taste of his own medicine. Bjergsen, though, keeping up in farm, which is the nice thing here. And that lane is probably not going to have too much happening unless they start leaving. Although double lift onto Apollo now, chasing forward with Karma, but Apollo stands his ground, just throws a few shots back, and double lift doesn't want to overcommit into Bard Caitlyn.
Yeah, there's this invisible line between you and your AD carry. Like, Kalista makes it really easy to see that line, but your support and your AD carry, if that line gets too long, then you can run in on one person and not worry about the other one following up. And that's exactly what happened there. Is Xpecial still trying to get bush control, and it left Apollo out to dry, so they were able to rush him and deal some damage and win a trade.
Nice little instincts there from double lift. As Haunter and Ray are still going at it here in the bottom lane. Level 6 for Haunter, so can join in with the ultimate if need be. It looks like blue buff just getting handed off now. Everyone's farming up pretty comfortably. Although Bjergsen right now has the CS lead, Keen should catch up after I think he's also gotten his blue. So pretty quiet last few minutes, given that we had an explosive level 1 action. But 2 kills for TSM is not too bad. Apex, though, keeping up just under 1,000 gold behind at this point.
Yeah, and the thing here for Apex is range support, not losing this lane in the top bot side, I guess the bottom lane in the top. It's just the jungle that they've kind of lost control over for this moment. Svenskeren's trying to get to those level 6 and use his next body slam flash for a kill. Down bottom, it's just been this brawl back and forth. So the lanes are pretty even, and you can see APX are just holding toe-to-toe with the laners. It's just this 1,000 gold lead that's amounted from slight CS advantages in top and mid, as well as...
That's level 6. Special, that's not a stun. Ray, Shrimp, sorry, going to make sure he gets in there. Sven's like, nope, collapse your tunnel. Shrimp's here, but this is pressure from TSM. Like, thought about a dive, but good coverage from Shrimp to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yep. Good coverage with the Void Rush, and I think that this, just looking way forward, is an uphill battle here for Apex because of their draft. Their wave clear is really low. You're relying on Apollo to get to his Runaan's Hurricane, and that's your source of wave clear. That's safe. Like, LeBlanc can wave clear, but only pretty much a lone wave if there's anybody there, which, you know, when you're sieging and you have an Azir and a Sivir, like, your waves are paper, and you're not going to be able to hold against that.
That was a curious interaction. There's some trading back and forth. Haunter actually TP's back to lane, knowing he has a global advantage. Keen also going to get that blue buff handed over. So Ray's going to get forced back here. We'll see if he TP's back to lane or if he saves it for a play later. That was really nice from Bjergsen. A subtle thing, but Keen dashed in, expecting a soldier, and Bjergsen's like, no, not putting it up. I'll just auto you.
Zap him a little bit. Red defense Garen. Control of the Scuttle Shrimp, who has been having a hard time in this jungle matchup because Shrimp kind of jungles by himself, whereas TSM, it's always just Sven Garen and Bjergsen jungling. It's that duo. They really take control through the mid lane. And this game, even though Keen came up and really dealt with Sven Garen, that's how you have to deal with TSM's pressure, is have your own mid and jungle synergy down where you are applying pressure to TSM so they can't do the same.
Yeah, and it's actually late lane swap back. Might cost TSM a turret here, although they are looking to trade, but they wanted the Ocean Drake. They actually moved down and get it at 10 minutes, so pretty standard timing there. And TSM now going to work on kind of a weird late lane swap, but we should just have some turrets traded here. Apollo going to pick up this gold. Special helps him out, but TSM should answer shortly. Bjergsen in trouble. Good bop there from Sven Garen. Nox came back. Ulti not going to connect, though.
WW.
They found the right Keen. He's going to go down.
No distortion available. And the body slam flash. Keg back. Slows the flash and makes it that Keen can't get out. So Bjergsen using Sven Garen to gain an advantage, get another foothold in this. Apex at the same time doing the Rift Herald.
Where's Ray? Mid lane.
He's mid.
Not the right lane.
He's mid. So
Shrimp's
going to go to Shrimp.
Well, I mean, better than nothing. Keeps it out of Haunter's hands.
Oh, Sven Garen's looking for Ray here. Here comes the ultimate.
Sven riding in as well. Sven wants it, going to try and line things up. Haunter doesn't quite connect with double lifts here, and Ray just doesn't have anything left. Sven Garen, an easy kill for him.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Double lift is there with the on the hunt, and it hits Haunter at the end of it, so he's able to rush forward. And then he has to run to a really bad position.
They're not done.
Looking for more.
Yeah, this dive again onto Kane. Feeling pretty good. Apollo going to get zoned out of the way. TSM just trying to keep them off the turret.
Not enough teams do this where they have pressure on the side of mid. They just try to barrel down mid lane, and they're just like, okay, let's 5-on-5 ARAM this and eventually get the turret because we have a better comp. It's like, well, no. They've been doing this since day one of the summer split here, where Sven Garen and sometimes Haunter will flank the mid and pincer it, and if somebody gets left out of position, then you're attacking from multiple angles, and defending your flanks is much harder.
Well, TSM do get some turret damage down. Can't take it, though, because Sven didn't have enough threat without his ultimate. Bjerg, though, with the blue buff, still pushing in. Actually opens up a nice CS lead versus Keen. So is Haunter versus Ray once again. And double lift a little bit behind. So Apollo about 10 CS ahead there is some good news. But once again, TSM just pretty much winning through the laning phase. They're almost 2,000 gold ahead. The turrets are even as short as 4 kills for TSM. But that's just, again, been strong laning that's getting them good early leads.
Yeah, it's mostly those CS advantages you were talking about, and the fact that they were able to get that early kill. Honestly, not enough happened as a follow-up to it in terms of summoner spell advantages. But speaking of summer spells, 5-man bottom dive. Let's see. It's not going to happen.
Yep, Ray's like, oh, unfortunate. He's going to kind of waddle out. Actually might get caught here.
Yeah.
Going to keep kiting. Body slam doesn't quite connect there for Sven. Ray almost going mega, though the rest of his team not joining. They're trying to zone them off another turret. Yeah. They will take it, so successful.
Yeah, they zone him off the turret. They get themselves one. Haunter, he's going to try to push this top lane, and Bjergsen's going to rotate up there, and you're going to see how TSM allocate people here is they're going to put their jungler clearing that camp, then going mid, but Apex, they're going to try to rush it. They're going to go for the long con here, and then they're going to go mid and have one person top. But Ray, he can't go up there by himself.
Yeah, it's not safe.
They have to give it up.
I think I just saw Bjergsen, so Ray wanted to go up top lane, decides instead to counter push mid with the rest of his team.
Yeah, this is a little bit of an oversight here from TSM. If Apex are actually very confident in this, they can deal a lot of damage to this turret.
Hot ult hits Sven. Special maybe looking for the follow-up. Flashes in, gets the angle on the binding. He's going to stun up Sven, and that's a great kill for Apex. TP in now for TSM. It's Haunter joins in, finds Keen. Bjergsen going to move down, ulti straight on top of him, but Keen's still living for a little while longer. The rest of Apex collapse. Bifrost flashing forward, going to try and take out Bjergsen. Bjergsen with the heal. Does finally go down, though, but Doublelift gets Apollo on the back end. Now Shrimp awfully low. Doublelift cutting back as best he can, but Ray almost megas again. Moves Bifrost into the wall, wallops him down as well. Haunter still chasing in. Ray just taking too much damage as Haunter gets another, and TSM turn it all around.
Yep, tried to get the kill there. Ray going really aggressive. He didn't transform soon enough, and then his Gnar wasn't exactly the one that he wanted. So TSM coming up a little bit ahead in that fight. It was honestly a 2 for 3 at the end of the day, I believe. 2 for 2.
Oh, Shrimp caught again. Special here, though. Maybe a little too much from Haunter. Gonna try and solo him out. Damages maybe there. Needs a few more autos. There's one. There's two. Shrimp's gonna go down, and Haunter's gonna walk away.
The Bard just killed my friend. Doesn't really hurt that much.
Peace.
Though. Oh, hey!
High five.
Ships in the night. Right by each other. Give him a high five on the way through.
He's got ulti, so this is actually not that unsafe. Sven just going to take it. Special wants to interrupt this. Oh, binds him to the red buff. That's rude.
Not getting much help, though.
Sven
Ray has to get that top lane CS. Missing CS is very brutal sometimes, and this is really good. Catches him out. Apollo not on this side of the map, though. He's actually on the right side, killing the turret, so not able to set up traps in time. Comes over, Keen gets out. I thought he actually ended up dying here. Boop. Now doesn't have the Q. Auto.
Oh,
nope, doesn't get the kill. So yeah, instead of 3 for 2, it's a 2 for 2. Even trade because of that. Almost.
Well, good looking stuff, but mid turret
Suddenly.
I mean, TSM had already prepared it earlier, so they'll just take the easy turret. Still up 2,000 gold, but Apex fighting back a lot better in this game. TSM definitely made a bit of an error in that mid lane, but the turret holds as a result. They collapse effectively, and I'll keep the game in their favor for now.
Yeah, it's about a 2,000 gold lead, whereas in the last game, at the 16-minute mark, there's a 4,000 gold lead for TSM, so it's definitely not the same pace for TSM in terms of advantage, because Apex are being able to trade turrets effectively. They're playing their kind of pick style right now, but Ray is still getting shut down, and it's still becoming a problem that may escalate towards the mid-late game here.
The rest of the pressure's not letting up. Bjergsen happy to wave through as he can. Good pressure from King, though.
That's perfect. Mountain Drake is live. Chunk out the mid laner. He had a refillable potion, so he blew both charges of it now. And all you have to do is keep chunking them out, make sure that they can't contest this, and be a little bit afraid. Ray, charge up your Gnar bar, run over here, and then they get a Mountain Drake. And all I have to worry about is that top lane turret and the middle pressure. So,
yep, Drake goes over to Apex. Pressure now from TSM. Apex is going to cut him off. Special, maybe with ready with an ulti. Good dodge of the binding there from Fenscar. They're actually all going top lane, though, to try and take out the tier 2 that Haunter's been preparing.
Yeah, they didn't answer appropriately here instead of running straight through. Ooh.
He finds Bjerg. Not too bad.
Don't know how much
Apex
it's going to do, though.
collapse. Turret goes down, though, and Apex a little too late to defend. TSM with a successful rotation. So they trade Mountain Drake for a top tier 2.
Yeah, it's a little strange that they're getting out-rotated here, because Special does have the magical journey to get his team up there faster. And if they're confident in those moves, they still have teleport. So if they kind of get like the old switcheroo pulled around on them, where it's like, we're top, oh, just kidding, we're mid, they can TP, and you know, like, King can do that, and he doesn't have to worry about having a TP disadvantage against Bjergsen.
Yeah, he's actually going to go bottom lane now, so King can start to move out to these longer side waves. He's pretty safe. Collect up some extra farm for himself and join when needed. Shrimp pulling a Svenskaren here, going to try and steal away this red buff. Does go over to Shrimp. Shrimp going to look for Doublelift. Doublelift says no. And Shrimp tunnels out to safety. Magical journey. Whee! All the portals. And Rip Scuttle Crab. Got destroyed there by Special's binding. And Shrimp keeping up here versus Sven, actually a little bit ahead in CS. Both junglers have really been trading invade paths back and forth in this game, but that mid turret being up is still a point of strength for TSM that they can play around, especially with Haunter's side lane pressure.
Yeah, side lane pressure for Haunter. Even though the Rift Herald did go over to Apex, it went to Shrimp, and he's not having the same type of pressure with that buff that Ray would love to have as a Gnar. And you can see he's 2 levels down because of the fact that he's been joining these fights. He's trying to team fight, and Haunter is just split pushing all day.
Fortunately, Teleport takes a little longer than Stand United to get there, but aggressive build from Ray. I like that. Looks like Black Cleaver next after the Frozen Mallet.
That's a really big point, too, is the globals that are faster than Teleport. And, well, Spencer not going to go for it.
Nice chill. TSM just looking to siege up another turret. This is cross-map pressure now. Looking for that top and bottom lane 2-pronged attack.
Yep, Haunter's hanging out in a bush up top.
Good damage here as well. Ray's actually pretty far forward. Keen dives in. They try and catch him, but don't quite get it.
It's the wave clear problem for Apex. Runehead's Hurricane finally completed for Apollo, but it still takes a little bit longer than you would like it to against a team that wrecks your wave in pretty much a fraction of a second here. They have to rely on the traps. Apollo sitting at rank 4 traps. He went 4 points Q and then 4 points Yordle. Snap trap.
Oh, great shield from Double Lift, and the ulti doesn't quite tag Sven.
Yeah, Biofrost had to flash out of it.
Okay.
As well, so he got that.
A little worth there for Special, but Apex trying to do the right thing with Bjergsen putting pressure mid lane, but now he's going to rotate himself over perhaps as TSM can collapse once more. Very intelligent 3-lane pressure here from TSM, just trying to find another weakness.
I'm surprised Special didn't walk up for that either. I guess he's just a little bit unsure because they don't have control of their jungle just yet. You can see the ward coverage.
Ooh, blue buff went to Sven, I think.
Yeah, it's underneath his big feet. It's way down there.
He does have big feet. Gets over the wall though. Haunter again, just waiting for his team to make the big play call. Still sitting here, trading waves with Ray back and forth. Doesn't really want to engage in 1v1, especially in a very long lane. TSM looking to assault those tier 2s, but despite all the pressure and coverage on the right-hand side of the map, couldn't quite crack them. So successful defense so far from Apex, but we'll see if they can keep holding on. TSM still up 4,000
Yeah,
gold.
and it's this lead that just slowly starts building on top of itself, and they're threatening these turrets, they're pushing up, they're playing the rotation game, and they're not afraid to take risks at all. And I love watching that, because you would think that they had like God vision of the map, but what they're doing is they're calling a lot of teams bluffs and saying, well, there's no way they could be here. Like, Special just walked up on Bjergsen and said, okay, there's a possibility that there are 2 people here because we don't know where they are. But TSM say, if there's 2 people here, we have enough trust in each other that we would collapse in time with the Sivir ultimate and things like that. So they're willing to take those risks and then afterwards, retrospectively, just be like, oh, wasn't worth it, whatever. Failure's a part of process.
Certainly true. Bjergsen going to solo away his blue buff. TSM actually transferring some of their attention over to the Baron area. Shrimp looking to clear out some wards. Does get a few, but a nice big juicy pink ward in the middle of the pit for TSM gives them the monopoly on that particular section. Apex again, just kind of playing catch up as TSM play run around with them.
Yep, and that's the thing is TSM are trying to not let them catch up. And I love watching their leads because they'll be like, okay, 4,000 gold lead. And there's been so many games where a team has a 4,000 gold lead, and then 10 minutes later they still have a 4,000 gold lead. They haven't done anything to multiply their gold or push their advantage to create even more of an advantage and snowball. But TSM are really good at doing that. Even if it's just, hey, we have like 1,000 more combat stats than you. Well, that's 1,000 more combat stats we're going to leverage here.
Yep. Definitely playing this one a little slower. Double Lift once again with a nice spell shield. But he's actually taking damage from Keen, I believe. So TSM might have to back off from that siege. But these turrets don't regenerate. They're actually getting decent damage down onto them slowly. It kind of looks like TSM are just doing the same thing over and over again. And in some ways they are. But they are slowly making ground here.
Yeah.
So at some point, Apex, they'll lose those turrets, and the TSM will have even more gold to work with.
Yeah, there's always that mentality of, if I don't get a turret when I'm attacking it this time, then it's not worth attacking. And some people just overcommit for the turret. It's okay to do 90% of a turret's HP and then come back for it way later when it's at 10%, because teams will forget about the status of that turret for a bit.
It looks like Drake being up. TSM going to transfer some stuff over. Really nice from Shrimp, though. Gets over to clear that pink ward out and rewards the Baron buff. Double Lift, though, going to walk over. Doesn't have a pink, but Biofrost does, so it looks like they'll replace that vision.
Yeah. Ray, this is actually something he's been working towards, is having that Black Cleaver finally completed. So the speed advantage he'll have over Haunter with his Frozen Mallet and the Phage passive gives him a split push advantage now against the Shen. And this is
Biofrost, the face check gets chained up there by Keen. Ray coming in, Stand United used on Biofrost. He's taking damage, but he soaked a lot there. Shrimp finally takes him down.
And Haunter comes through.
Ray looking for the big ulti, chunks out Double Lift with the rocks as well. Big mistake from TSM to lose their support there.
Ooh. actually very interesting. Apex decide to go towards the Mountain Drake instead of possibly setting up a Baron bait and just try to go for the small fish here.
Actually hit recall.
Yeah, on a lot of them.
Shrimp back now though. Svenskeren, I think, just looking for a steal perhaps. Throws the barrel in, sees that they've started it, and Apex don't want to commit. They're about to spot double lift on that top side, but they can't see him just yet. And Bjergsen and Sven maybe just a little too scary. There's double lift though.
Yeah, as soon as they see him, I mean, Special, he'll have his ultimate up in a few seconds here. I think you throw it out, try to get a flash. There's no way that double lift can make it to this fight.
Ooh, Gray's a good flank strip. Oh! Three-man ulti there as well.
If Ray can get in,
cut him off. Good ult from Bjergsen. Spirit's Refuge going to protect him for a little while longer. Bjergsen surfs his way out to safety, ace in the hole, blocked by Biofrost. And TSM escape a very tricky situation.
Both junglers played that fight absolutely perfect. Shrimp, flash knockup right as Xpecial was throwing his Tempered Fate. Great synergy there. But Svenskeren stopped the follow-up. He threw his explosive cask out right when Ray was going to look to jump. He almost had his Gnar bar full, and Svenskeren's like, no, I'm not even going to give him the chance to follow up this Tempered Fate with the Gnar. Really well played there to stop his team from being devastated.
Yep, and the bait now on the Baron for TSM. They give the Drake over to Apex. We have 2 Mountain Drakes now, actually. We talked about maybe their wave clear being a problem. Well, their Siege should not be with this Caitlyn.
Yeah, when they actually reach those turrets. The Caitlyn is kind of the supplementary, or I guess the replacement of the wave clears. You put down traps that funnel your enemy into certain places, and then you try to pick them off, do some damage there.
Ray gets the big Krug. And Svenskeren, though, continuing to play aggressively up in Apex's jungle. TSM, though, again, starting to look a little sloppy, although this was great by Shrimp.
Yeah, even though no kills went down, you see Svenskeren's like, nope, get out of here. Almost full Gnar bar. If Ray had jumped in, look at that, because the follow-up stun was there, he would have slammed Bjergsen against the wall, and it would have been a dead bird, 100%. So Svenskeren knew that was going to come through, stops it, and uses the ultimate on one person. It's a really good control and really good recognition that that's what he should do.
Apex back to the little tricks around the Baron, though. Shrimp portals in, tunnels out. Pretty easy excavation of that pink ward. TSM still trying to find a foothold in this game. This gold lead has stayed pretty stagnant for the last few minutes. TSM haven't quite found a big break in this game yet. They're still ahead, don't get me wrong.
It went up to 5,000, or I guess 4.8.
Yeah, 5.
It's really, really close.
Round up, it's okay.
Yeah, the 5K gold advantage. So a few minutes ago, 4 minutes, it was about 4K. So they're still getting these smaller advantages that keep adding up.
Apex fighting back though. Oh, ulti from Sven going to be forced out. Ray going to go back
Ray.
in. Looks for the ult, finds 2 there. As Bjergsen going to get knocked back into the team. Shrimp's going to get 1 kill, but Sven with a huge body slam going to go off. And Double Lift just tearing them to pieces. Ulti from Xpecial might keep them safe. But Haunter, he's going to zone out Apollo. Sven is going to die, but Shrimp should fall in response. Guardian Angel's still there though, and Double Lift doing the damage. Haunter now going to turn things around. Apollo died to Haunter, and they're going to chase back Shrimp. Shrimp's going to be the next kill. And a bloodbath actually goes over to actually an even trade.
Yeah, 3 for 3. Double Lift just stands his ground, throws out the ricochets. I mean, that Sivir just decimated that fight. It looked like it was going to be great for Apex, but it ends up being better for TSM because they have the wave clear. He pushes up, he gets a turret. If Keen is able to answer this mid turret finally, then it'll almost be an even trade.
Looks like he is, so I guess I'll have to take it. Keen should have enough minions here to clear this out, and he's going to get a turret trade. TSM, again, all that preparation they've done in the bottom side before, they won the fight and they're able to take it. This is a little too cheeky.
This is great. This is great. They're just going to sit there. Ray, when he transforms, he doesn't have as much mobility to get out.
Oh, he now transforms in. They're going to try and turn it around. He's actually pretty squishy, remember, as Ray. I don't think he can get out of this. He'll hop out of the way, but Double Lift gets him.
Yeah, if he had stayed mini, he would have been able to bounce off one of his own minions there if he had just walked north. So, honestly, changing, it's one of the bad parts of Gnar. Sometimes you're just like, I just want to stay mini forever when I'm one-on-one or one-on-two. And then you want to be big for the team fights all the time. It's like, why am I mini?
Yeah. And that big kind of 1v1 build from Ray really cost him in that 1v2. Almost no tank stats with now just the
Should have built for the 1v2, bro.
Could have built for the team, I guess. Besides not to in this instance, so Ray does need a little bit of time. Keen with a shutdown. See a Double Lift.
Yeah, great pick there. If they're able to kill Double Lift off, he's a substantial part of their damage, especially since Biofrost went for the Ardent Sensor. This is a fantastic item right now with the increase on the shielding and healing that it has. I don't even care about that. This item gives attack speed, and it also gives damage on hit to Doublelift, but also Bjergsen, right? He's got that attack speed. It's going to be great. But here we go. Baron.
Yeah, aggressive from Apex here as Bjergsen actually caught again. Shrimp looking for the knockup. He's going to find it. Ulti out. Might keep him alive, actually. Is Ray going to try and flank him out? Bjergsen has to surf to safety, but now Haunts is caught, and the rest of the team. No, he's not. Svenskeren teams up to take out Apollo. And now Haunts are going to put up the refuge. He's so tanky. Shrimp going to get tagged by a taunt. Sven, can he follow in? Gets him again. Keen goes in, but he gets exhausted by Biofrost. Now Shrimp trying to tunnel his way out. Barely gets to safety as Ray gets one. It's only Bio for the ulti. Keen going to follow in, but Biofrost flashes out to safety. Now Stand United is going to reposition the Shen. Haunts are going to lock them down. Keen's Mimic's going to die as Bjergsen will chase him for the real one. Ray's dead on this other side as Haunts takes him out on TSM. They're just too good.
It's a 5v4. It's a 5v4. They lose nobody except for Doublelift off of the pick originally, and they get 2.
And now going to take Baron, apparently. Just TSM things.
Oh, Shrimp, he's going to try to steal. He stole yesterday and won his team the game in a comeback. Doublelift's going to pop the ultimate. He's going to try to chase them down.
Oh, go through the tunnel. Shrimp, you must escape.
Well, Doublelift's going to try to distract him. If Shrimp unburrows for the knockup, he can't get through the wall. He doesn't have his flash. He has to stay here. Haunter's going to try to taunt him. If he hits the taunt, it forces an unburrow.
There he is. He's going in early, but I have to try and get it. Oh my God, he stole the Baron. Shrimp's going to die for it, but Apex hold.
Just throw the burst down. So many times I've seen junglers go in at 2,000 HP on the Baron because they think it's going to get burst by the other team, and the other team just holds and tanks it. But Keen assists in the damage burst, picks up the Baron on top of Shrimp's smite, and Svenskeren didn't even get to use his.
Crucial save there for Apex to keep this game in their grasp. They're still behind. Oh, watch this again. This is an aggressive Baron call from TSM.
Yeah, and Doublelift is just trying to be like, hey, there's a Sipper over here. Unburrow and kill me. Unburrow and kill me. Unburrow and kill me. Come on. And Haunter is just waiting for his energy. It takes a lot to taunt. And he's just not getting it back fast enough. His taunt's almost up. And yeah, he ended up having to pull his blade back to him, so he doesn't get the taunt off. Can't stop Shrimp from coming through. And he, with the burst there on top of Shrimp's smite, Svenskeren didn't get time to react.
Yeah, was enough there as Infernal Drake's also live. So more smite fights may be breaking out here across Summoner's Rift as TSM going to look to get their second Drake of the game. Apex are actually up in big monsters here, although now TSM equalize. 2 mountains versus Infernal and an ocean. But Baron on Apex going to buy them some time, if nothing else. Although poor Ray doesn't have it. He's dead.
The one person that they would really want to have it. Well, I guess you want 2, because you want to stop that siege and that wave clear. Yeah, this team basically falls over on Apex's side if the other team gets Baron, so you have to go for broke. Because your wave clear is so kind of pitiful in the first place, if they get a Baron, then you pretty much keel over and die and lose your base. But the fact that Keen is able to kill it, get it for himself, keeps that cold lead at just 5,000 for TSM, so hasn't been able to grow.
And Apex, to their credit, maybe losing a bit around the map, but they've definitely been fighting well against TSM in these situations. And TSM, always the team to bring a fight. Apex, though, looking good. Sven once again posturing aggressively, wants Keen, but he misses the body slam, gets the ulti, but Haunter's going to ride in for it. Chained by Keen should hold it out, but there's a magical journey take by Haunter, gets bound on the other end by a cosmic binding.
Yeah, Haunter's super tanky. Killing him is going to be a chore.
He's actually zoning right now.
He can stand here zone.
Eat a cupcake.
He'll even take this
Snuffed up, Spirit's Refuge.
He doesn't care.
We chill. And Bjergsen even now going to keep them out of the way. Apollo finally returns. Sven took damage from Keen again. Ulti, it's 3!
Ray doesn't have Mega Nard, though.
No, ulti out there from Bjergsen, going to try and zone them out of the way. Haunter actually caught Ray in the mini Nard form. Damage is there. Do they have the burst? He flushes out to safety. TSM with no kills. Well, they hold on after Special's big ulti.
Yeah, the Emperor's Divide there as well to kind of section off the team and allow everybody to go after Ray, push him out. I mean, it's kind of a complete contrast in the top laners. Haunter, incredibly tanky, can just stand there. Ray really has to choose his moments to go in. And this series, this guy, he's 1-12-7 right now. So Ray has been picked on over and over again. Both games, I believe most deaths on his team. It's just, he's not having a good day, but it's not because of his play. It's mostly because TSM is just trying to ruin his day.
And to his team's credit, Apex actually picking up the slack in a lot of ways. Sure, Ray's being targeted, but Shrimp and Keen and Xpecial all having good moments here, and Apollo's just providing the damage he needs to from the Caitlyn, who does now have 3 items. Like, Apex are making a fight out of this game, and TSM, I would almost call it frustrating to get such a clear lead, still be ahead by a pretty significant chunk of gold, and just kind of feel like you've been running into a brick wall for the last 10 minutes because Apex, they've just constantly defended TSM's attacks, and we're getting to a point where this game, despite the goal, that is starting to equalize out a bit.
Yeah, and it's mostly because people will start approaching those item thresholds and be like, okay, well, having a completed item over somebody having components, it's like worth way more. But then when you have like 4 items and they have 4.5, it's like, okay, well, that's not a big deal. You have 4.5 and they have their 5th. It's not that huge. So Apex, in terms of combat effectiveness, are still really high up there. I think the biggest discrepancy is just that top lane, because Ray, like, no magic resistance. Azir's going to shred through him. So he's really like banking on one more item. Just get him one more item and then maybe a GA after that.
Yep, kind of needs one big ulti maybe as well. Can definitely add utility to those fights, but TSM now going to start a shove down this bottom side. Haunter has escorted the minion wave almost all the way up, but Apex ready with the defense. Caitlyn trap line already set up.
Yeah, it's basically traps are here. All right, rotate mid. See what happens, because that's their supplement or their replacement.
Few pot shots there for double lift onto the turret, but Keen looking for a flank, finds Haunter. Not the one he wants.
Trying to bait out the taunt there from Haunter.
Whoa. Special flashes out. Gets 2. Ray going to follow in. He's almost making out, but Spen's going to try and stop him. He's been chained up again. Oh! He goes in. Huge ulti, and the double scoops back as Emperor's Divide thrown out as well. TSM holding their ground. They're doing their damage, and Shrimp's already had the GA popped again. Double is going off. So is Bjergsen in there as the damage is too much. And Apex, a valiant effort, but TSM win the fight.
Yeah, Apollo just can't get through Haunter. He even has a Lord Dominic's Regards to try and shred his armor, but the Spirit's Refuge just keeps him alive and makes sure that he doesn't take much damage, and Haunter's just immovable.
And he's becoming a real problem here. TSM finally breaking Inhib open and get some traction onto mid lane. They'll transfer bot, see if they can't get more done. But Elder Dragon up in a minute 30. That maybe needs to be reset, as Baron's also coming up shortly before then. But right now, with 20 seconds still left on the death time, is TSM going to look to push forward. Keen again off to the side. Trying to do something here. Double lift pops a spell shield. Double binding finds one. Keen looks to assassinate Bjergsen, and he does get it. That's going to force TSM away.
And Keen's going to keep going. Keen's going to keep looking for more picks. If you can continue to run them down, pick them off. Baron is up in 1 minute. Elder Dragon's up in 1 minute. And nope, I guess he's just going to go for the blue. Decides that they have so much movement speed, he just popped the Sivir ultimate. It's not worth it.
Do not chase. Shrimp actually uses his ulti as well, but can't get too far away. Special finally gives up his chase. So again, we have to reset the map for these big monsters that are now spawning. Ooh.
Exactly. This is a very scary time in the game for everybody, because the vision is pretty much non-existent.
Commitment.
Well, if you pick off the jungler, there's no chance of a smite steal.
Stand United, though, is pretty tanky. Sven getting locked up. Damage is there. Huge nail back, and Ray almost gets the kill. Sven finally falls down, and TSM just can't quite do it.
Perfect timing on that Gnar. Haunter came through, so he couldn't taunt afterwards and stop the damage follow-up. Throws Haunter and Svenskeren against the wall so his team can pick off the jungler. Baron is up in 5 seconds. Bjergsen is back on the field, and that's going to be where Apex start moving towards. But TSM, they get mid priority. Their super minions here. It's going to soak a little bit of your time. You're just trying to waste time if you're TSM.
I mean, they don't have long. Sven's up in 20 seconds, so the 5v4 power play isn't going to last too much longer. Apex, though, just going to clear out what vision they can. Looks like they've got priority on the Baron area, but they do have to trade here. Elder Dragon is now up.
Yep.
And TSM get vision there first.
Are they going to bait it? You only have a Bard and a Rek'Sai in the tunnel. If he throws out, or in the pit, Special doesn't have ultimate for a little bit longer. So
yeah, Sun Turret and Super still causing issues as well. And looks like the bottom wave's also pushing forward towards Apex's inhibitor turret. So some stuff to contend with. This TSM are just starting this Elder Dragon.
And now there are pings onto the Baron. That Elder Dragon, though, is going to do a lot of work. You can see Svenskeren. Svenskaren's not at the Elder Dragon. They're going to take this with just the brute force, and then they're going to Sivir ultimate maybe and rush towards the Baron. We'll see.
Yeah, they do.
They just need to get across the map quickly and get this fight.
TP in from Haunter. He's just going to go for it. Baron getting so low. Oh my god, Sven steals it this time. And now Haunter going to look. Flash Taunt finds 3. Sven there in with the damage, and Double has gone ballistic. Cleaves off Apollo's head. Keen's going to die there as well. Shrimp's going to get his face crit off. And Bjergsen chasing down for almost an ace. Double it for the triple kill, and Keen turns tail and runs.
That was an absolutely incredible play there from all of TSM. Haunter with the taunt flash onto 3 in the pit. Keeps them all there. And amazing steal from Svenskeren.
TSM going to take the last few Nexus turrets with Baron and Elder Dragon. Apex Took a while to go down, but TSM keeps swinging, and they deliver the final blow for yet another 2-0 sweep.
And TSM are now at the 2/3 point in the split, and they haven't dropped a match. 12-0, and they just keep looking like they're adding more and more. People are like, oh, is it just Lucian for Double Lift? No, the guy's got Sivir. Is it just Aurelia and